Minisodes.
Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm your host, Ahmani Brown. So, let's get into this because we have, quite a long docket here. Basically, we got 2 weeks. I've been kind of lazy a little bit. I've been kind of busy and also kind of being like, I probably could have done this earlier in the week. But we're going to do a full rundown of the news for the past 2 weeks because, we need to do that. It's a big one. Gotta make sure we get that out of the way before next podcast drops, which should be Sunday. No promises. I have a tendency to kind of slack on that because we tend to get distracted on Saturdays for some reason, even though that's the time we're supposed to be recording. But let's get into this. First up, we have body cam horror by the name of Digested, which is basically running away from a giant steak. That sounds really fun for those that like that kind of horror. So if you're looking out for that, keep an eye on that one. We have Paxdel from or Paxdia from the NVIDIA showcase. This one pretty much just reminded me of a really high-end looking survival game, honestly. I'm not really, me personally, not the best person to talk about said things because I'm not the best, I'm not the biggest fan of survival games, but it is there and coming out at some point. For those who want, let's see, do we have release date? Early access for spring 2024, so it's actually pretty close by if you want to jump into the early access period. Let's go. We also have Knights of Greyfang, which, if I'm not mistaken, this game is, the preview won't show me anything. I kind of wish it would. Come on. It's an RPG. Okay, cool. Classic style RPG with some fun little puzzle solving mechanics and things of that nature. Might want to give this a shot if you like that sort of thing. By all means, go check it out. But that is Knights of Greyfang. One of the bigger things on this list is Smite 2, which we have to mention for sure. That is a thing. I think we mentioned it during the podcast, but if we didn't, it's fine. Smite 2 coming out. From what I understand about this, they are doing a bunch of minor gameplay changes to everything. So it's a lot of them. On top of the fact that they're bringing up everything to like a higher res and everything like that. It's going to be its own separate game. For those that want to continue playing normal Smite 1, that is going to be available to you. They've already said this. They're going to be continuing to update that in the future, but it's going to be its own separate thing. They're not going to be able to bring all the costumes over. They're hoping to bring most of the heroes. I think over time they'll be able to bring over all the heroes. But they definitely said all the costumes is not happening. But there is going to be something in play for those who liked having their skins from the last game, but expect it to look better. I think it looks a little bit more crunchier as far as combat goes. The environments and character models are way more better looking. I think the camera's a little bit more zoomed in. It sounds like it's not really worth a sequel thing, but from what I understand about by doing my research on it, the amount of minor changes that they're doing to the game, and maybe a couple major changes, does kind of qualify it for a sequel. It's always kind of weird doing a sequel for a game that is a live service type game anyway, especially one like Smite or League that have lasted for such a long time without getting such a major update. So we'll see if this flies. I kind of hope that people get to enjoy it and that the two can exist simultaneously, but at the same time I wouldn't be surprised if Smite 2 flops, or if it's good enough, maybe the player base for Smite 1 might just die out. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out though. Definitely something that people might want to look into, but they just had the announcement trailer and a little bit of breakdowns. You guys can go ahead and check it for yourself. Next up, we have Jack Holmes and the Master of Puppets, which is a first-person shooter. I believe it's a horror game as well. Yeah, more than likely it's a horror game as well. With a bunch of mini games, things like that, taking place at a carnival. That's kind of your aesthetic. Give it a shot. For the One Piece Pirate Warrior fans out there, we're getting the Film Red DLC pack, which involves Kobe, Shanks, and Uta. For those that are excited, ready to play some more of that. Let's see. We also have the War Hospital, which looks to be a CRPG. It's either a CRPG or a sim about being in a hospital during war times, and that's fun on its own. One of the bigger ones that I have to mention for sure is Mario vs. Donkey Kong. That's on this list. Classic. I played the original. Well, technically speaking, so the original is Donkey Kong. Then you have the Mario vs. Donkey Kong, which is kind of like a return to formula, and now they are remaking that for Switch, which I can't wait to play. That game was on Game Boy originally. Super fun. I think they had a sequel to it, which was on DS that I never got to touch, but it involves you playing as the little toys. But basically, Donkey Kong sees some toys on TV, wants the toys, gets the toys, and apparently steals them. So it's up to Mario to stop him from running away from all these little versions of themselves, little Mario toys that exist. It's kind of cute. And then in this game, we also get to see Paulina, a character that technically in recent years we got to see her more, but before that, didn't really see her a lot at all. So that's fun. We also have some more Banisher, another Banisher trailer. Banisher Ghost of Eden. Ghost of New Eden, my bad. This game looks really cool. I'm kind of looking forward to when it comes out. It's on my radar, but I want to see. Do we have a date? I want to see if we have a date. Give me a second. But basically, if I'm not mistaken, God of War S combat. God of War Ragnarok S combat with this entire magic deal going on about this guy trying to bring back his wife, his late wife. But the deal is that she's also with him as a ghost, so they're trying to make it so that they can be together again. Kind of cool. It's coming out February 13th. I knew it was coming out soon. So February 13th, you can look forward to that one. That one's going to be kind of cool. I think the pre-orders are out. Yeah, it actually says pre-orders are out right now. So that's going to be fun. I like the concepts. The premise is kind of fun. We got some magic. We got some heartbreak, heartstrings, stuff like that. It's not often that you have a game that's just directly about a couple. It's usually you have a love interest and that becomes a thing over time, or things like that, or you choose your love interest, or things the story works around it, but never just straight up I'm not gonna say never. There's been a couple of games, but not as many. It's very rare that you just straight up have the couple as the focus. So things like Catherine, Haven are two things that come to mind where that's kind of a unique thing that they have going on. I recommend checking that out when it comes out. Admittedly, I feel like it's gonna go under the radar for a lot of people because it's a Don't Nod game, and I don't know why, but at least to me, it came off a little generic. But it's on my radar because it's something that I do find fascinating, at least with the characters and how they're approaching the story so far. But there's been a plethora of games that have been coming out recently. One of them I'm playing currently right now, and I'm kind of amazed that no one really played it. Immortal. The couple games like this that have been coming out. I think it's called Immortals. Not Phoenix Rising, because that's a completely different game. I think it's Immortals of Atheum is what it's called. And I feel bad because it somehow is the blandest thing you've seen ever, and also really cool at the same time. But I'll get more into that when we get into the podcast bit of it. Let's see, we also have a DLC coming out for Cult of the Lamb. Actually, it's an update. So the Sins of the Flesh update. For those of you that loved Cult of the Lamb, I don't really have to give you more information on that. But for those that don't know, little game about you taking care of a town, but it's also a roguelike at the same time. You do your best to make sure your cult is the strongest cult and makes you super powerful so you can get through these crazy behind dungeons, and also trying to make sure that they're that everything's cool. It's very cutesy, it's very fun, it's very dark, but at the same time it kind of gets away with it because it's so cute and fun around it. a really cool art style. It's got like this storybook aesthetic to it. So like all the levels and everything looks like a pop-up book kind of, or a diorama. Really cool idea. The Spy X Family crossover, which is out. I think we talked about that on the thing. So that's on Street Fighter 6 currently. The 400 Mini. So apparently they're putting out a mini version of the Atari. Well, the mini version of the 400. That's fun. If anybody wants to go back and play those old games or get a piece of history, video gaming history, that would be a cool thing to do. So you want to get yourself an Atari 400. We have the Sandlands release trailer, which I actually am really excited for. The combat looks a little I'm hoping that it opens up from like the original gameplay thing we saw, but it was a while ago. It's still an RPG, but the combat looks fun and also kind of like basic at the same time. But I'm looking forward to Sandlands because this is one of the only things that, like, besides Dragon Quest and Dragon Ball that Akira Toriyama has done in a long time, honestly. Like, I remember the manga came out and it was really good, really well received, and seeing an adaptation as this is actually really cool. So I'm actually really hoping to dive into Sandlands, and I'm hoping everyone else is excited too. This is going to be kind of a fun one, and I hope it does well because I want to see more stuff with Akira Toriyama style, but significantly less Dragon Ball. As much as I love Dragon Ball, there are some other things that he's done that are really cool and we should check out instead. Not saying that Dragon Ball has to go away completely, but, you know, maybe we don't need a Dragon Ball game every year if we can get at least like one or two of these other properties that he's doing. Because I don't think a Dragon Quest comes out every year anyway, so I mean, it'd be fun to just get like another one. Let's see, I actually kind of want to see what else he's made. Because we never got like an Rayleigh game, I don't think, or anything like that. And that'd be kind of fun. Let's see what else we got on this list. Okay, so I'm going to run through these really quickly. So we had a bunch of Tekken characters announced, and Tekken is about to come out. In fact, I think it's coming out today. We are currently on the day of release, but just to let everyone know who's going to be who's going to be in the game, is that we are getting Alyssa was announced, Zafina was announced, and I know we have Eddie Gordo as DLC officially, as well as, let's see, we also have the release trailer that came out as well, which is also really fun. But yeah, we are currently on the day of release, which is a fun time, right? So officially we are out of last week's news, I'm pretty sure. Well, the week before last week's news. And now we're into last week's news. So let's hit up. Okay, so we have Southfield. Southfield actually looks really fun. Again, survival game, but with a twist. It's very physics based and also kind of like goofy looking. It has this cutesy art style, but like everything about like how you go about doing things is like a bit more character to it. I think there's a rolling mechanic that involves you guys just constantly rolling about to actually gain speed and stuff like that. It's kind of fun. It reminds me a little bit of Sonic. The world's kind of fun. I like the whole mushroom aesthetic that's going on with this. Genuinely adds color. It makes you kind of interested to want to survive in this world, because one of the things I will mention, many survival games have not been doing a really good job at making worlds that I want to actually be in, especially for a game that's supposed to be about surviving in this world. So I found that kind of fascinating. It's going to be kind of fun to look at that. Co-op, you can have some fun with your friends, and just do some random crap and just experiment. It seems like it's mainly like a survival like sandbox, more so is how it's treating it. There's also some factorial stuff going on in there, so that's kind of fun. Definitely give that a look-see, see if you might be interested in that, because I think many people might actually want to be interested in that one. Let's see, what else we got, we have The Club, which I don't think I've actually seen this trailer for it. It actually, let me just go through and look. Okay, what I'm getting off rip is, we're getting a Spider-Verse effect game in a post-apocalyptic city with a kid that I think is an alien. And then for those of you that have played a game like Inside or Limbo, it has that kind of vibe going for it. Not the harsh shadows, but definitely far more colorful than those games. But the idea of like a world like kind of untouched for a while, and a story being told as this boy goes on an adventure that like doesn't look like it involves any form of dialogue whatsoever. It's purely like just visually based, and everything you're seeing is off of what is happening in the environment. So there's gonna be cutscenes, but there's gonna be like no talking, is for what I can tell. Actually, I take it back. Totally talking. There is voices. I say this, it literally happens right as I was actually saying that seems to be aesthetic, but still, it looks like it's going to be minimum as far as I'm considered, which games like these tend to actually be really cool. So, but if you're looking for like some, what looks like some really nice platforming honestly going on, and some really fun visual storytelling, that's the main thing that seems to be happening here. I'm looking forward to this. This looks cool. Go check out my bad, I call it the club. It's called the Cub. My brain auto-corrected. But go look up the Cub. Let's see, we have... Okay, we talked about Divinator on the podcast, so no worries about that one. That one looks fun. It's a the Hollow Knight style game. Let's see what else. Let's go through. We have Outpost Infinite Siege, which I think me and a couple friends were looking at this one, investigating for. This is the release trailer for it. If I'm not mistaken, this is the cross-genre game that is both a RTS and an FPS at the same time. I'm trying to see. Yeah. So like it's like RTS, tower defense, and a first-person shooter at the same time, which sounds like it'd be kind of wild, but at the same time it looks super fun. Kind of looking forward to messing around with that game. This, like I said, is the release trailer, so let's see if we can get a release date on here. Cool Halo-looking guy. So we have this releasing in March 26th. So that'll be fun to try to check out. You can wishlist it on Steam right now. I don't think it's on any other consoles currently. Everything I see seems to be, it seems to be just Steam. So, but I mean, honestly, when you look at the game, you kind of look at it and go like, yeah, this is not gonna be like a Xbox, PlayStation game, but you kind of can tell. But definitely go check that one out. That one's a vibe. The Indiana Jones game looks really good. I don't remember if we talked about that one on it, but really cool. Glad that exists. Go check that out. It's just basically Indiana Jones, but like a video game, like in first person and doing some really cool stuff. I think that's actually a really good pick for it. Next up, we have Dark Atlas Infernum, which let me zoom through here to see if this looks like an, well, with the way that they're showing it, a first-person adventure game. Because I just trying to refresh my memory on some of these. Yeah, first-person adventure game. Well, it looks like it's got more psychological elements, and like crazier, more in-your-face horror elements than some of the other first-person horror games, but definitely worth the looks. It's coming to PlayStation 5. So, well, granted, I have the PlayStation 5 trailer, so maybe it's coming to other things too, but from what I can tell, on the PlayStation 5. Let's see. We also have Banished Knights, which is a cool, what is it? I think it's like cyber noir. Nah, that's not what it's called. It's like it's not cyberpunk specifically, but it looks like it's got neon. It's like damn, I wish I could remember the words for it. It's like a neon punk kind of feeling to it, like Miami Vice kind of vibes. This is what looks like, as I'm going through it, a visual novel that involves driving and minor. Yeah, it's basically a choose your own adventure game, which is kind of fun. Multiple little mini games that kind of revolve around the idea of you doing this crime syndicate thing. Super cool. I recommend checking it out just to see what's gonna happen. But definitely gives it a look. Mansion. It's my bad. I'm trying to just make sure I understand this correctly. It's gonna be in the description either way. Because I read it Banished Nights because I looked at the original logo, but now I'm looking at it. It's not actually. It's Bon Sen. Yeah, it's like Bon Sen Nights. But I still give it go look at it in the description. Sure, just go check that one out. You look at the trailer, give it a shot, see if it's something you might like. It looks like it's kind of fun, honestly. It looks like it's something kind of quite engaging, so give it a shot. But the game's out now if you want to go check it out. So, all means. Next up we have, this one's a little weird, but we have the Skull and Bones Premium Edition, which this game has been like literally through hell. It's nice to see that it's finally coming out. And as far as release dates go, let's see if we can. February 16th. So, yeah, next month. That one's coming out. Basically, the premium edition just shows you get like a bunch of like crazy stuff in this trailer. I personally would advise against doing this, but some of the stuff already tells us some obvious things that we can get. They have a battle pass in it. They're giving us a bunch of DLCs that are on their way as well. So there's a battle pass. Let's see. There's a captain's outfit, skin, masthead, wheel, like some cosmetics for your ship. Apparently it comes with a digital art book and the soundtrack, smuggler's pass tokens, and I think that's about it. Oh, and I think if you pre-order it if you get the premium edition, you get to play it 3 days early. So that's something. I can't, in good conscience, recommend that you go and get this version of the game, especially since it's probably the version of the game that's going to bankrupt you. But I could definitely say that there's a lot of people who were excited for this. Hopefully it turns out well. It's been in such weird states that I would probably wait for reviews first more than anything else. I wouldn't advise that you go and get this by any means off rip. Just because of how troubled the development cycle has been. Let's wait. We'll see some gameplay reviews, things like that, and then if it's good, go for it, right? If you see the reviews and it's something you're worth wanting to get, like, fine by me. It's something you like, go get it. I ain't gonna stop you, right? But besides that, Alan Wake is coming to Dead by Daylight, so that's gonna be a fun one. That looks actually super fun. He's got like this cool, he's basically, I actually think it's really cool that they did this. His entire kit is involved around the flashlight, and having to like stun opponents and stuff like that. He's gonna be like super toxic if you're a monster. So too bad, like if you're a monster main, if you're a Slayer main, I feel bad because those flashlights are gonna get more real annoying. But he's known as the hero of the light in this game, so that's gonna be fun. Kind of gives you right off the bat what his job's going to be, and he's going to be to distract and blind monsters and then disappear into the darkness, then come back and attack again. So he's on the offensive, which I think is actually really appropriate considering his entire gameplay elements and everything with the flashlight. It was a cool implementation of everything that he does usually in his games. Kudos to them for doing that. Let's see what else we have. We have Wake Runners, which admittedly I'm a little disappointed with because the trailer initially seems like it's going to be like a cool parkour game, and admittedly it's a MOBA. It's a MOBA. But it's a top-down MOBA that I don't want to say is going to be bad off rip because it actually could be really fun. But obviously the initial start of this trailer does imply that you're getting something a little bit more, not to diss on MOBAs or anything like that, but something with a little bit more substance. Or at the very least, if it was going to be a MOBA, something with at least a better perspective on the fights. But it doesn't look like that. It's okay though. If you like MOBAs, go check this out. Honestly, give it a little shot and see if you like it. tell me how you feel about it, I guess. Give us a nice little review, see if how it fared. I guess we could always look it up too. But be sure to just hit us up, tell us. We're definitely down to listen and see what's up with that. We talked about the Final Fantasy Rebirth trailer, and I think there's Soul Mask? Soul Mask, let me see. I'm trying to remember what this one is. Oh, this is also a survival game. Let me see. Let me just get a little skimmy skim. Which admittedly, there's a lot of these. Okay, so from what I can tell off rip of skimming, we have another survival game, but this one is taking place with a more tribal aesthetic to it. You want to play with, looks like you're going to be playing with friends. You're going to be building a society, fighting against, well, just that's a saber-tooth tiger, so, things like that. But there is more of a take care of your tribe and kind of build up from there kind of aesthetic going on, which is not bad. I see some forms of combat that's kind of nice, and I think hints at like an inner society. I'll also say that Soul Mask is a little frame rate's going all over the place a little bit in the beginning. It's a little weird. I'll say that right now. Game needs some work. So we'll see how this plays out. It could be really cool. Right now it's just you can play the demo. Yeah, the demo is gonna be out on Steam Fest February 5th. So come here. A lot of stuff coming out in February, honestly. So I mean, prepare your wallets if you're not ready for February. For real. There's a lot coming out in February and January. The month of February is gonna be packed. But if you want to go check it out, it's gonna be coming then. It's not out anytime soon from the looks of it. Like the demo is, but like the game itself isn't out anytime soon. So there's time and there's hope for it to kind of improve itself. But for right now, this is a good proof of concept so far. There's obviously actual gameplay because we're watching the frame rates dip. But and in that gameplay there's some cool stuff. Hopefully this pans out to be better by the time it comes out. Because admittedly, it looks kind of cool. I think the combat's kind of fun looking. Like I think they actually did a good job at like swordplay and stuff like that, and it looks like it's gonna be kind of fun to at least fight people in the game. Again, not a huge fan of the survival elements, but there is something about raising a tribe and like trying to keep them. Like I don't like the base building aspects, but I like the I guess the more strategical kind of base managing kind of stuff. Because usually in a lot of survival games, it's just like you build a base and you kind of build up stuff that you have in it, but like having people that you take care of and like they do tasks for you and things like that, that's a little different, right? I kind of like that kind of thing. Let's see. Talked about the Nier reincarnation thing during the podcast. Act 2 is coming out, just as a little reminder. The Return, I'm pretty sure it's out now as of this recording. I'm pretty sure, because I think we talked about it before in the thing. Yeah, it came out January 22nd, so it's definitely out now as of this recording. Go check that out. I can't recommend it enough. And obviously Ed, my boy, is coming to Street Fighter 6. He's been announced. That's been fun. We're going to be hearing more. Apparently he's getting a release date. Are we hearing more, or is he getting a release date? I think he's getting a release date in February. Yeah, Ed is coming in February. We don't know anything more than February. I just wanted like another trailer to just see how he plays at least, but he's coming in February. So, another thing to look forward to in February. And with that, we've officially covered everything for the past 2 weeks, which we did move at breakneck speeds because I just realized that it is only 28 minutes and I thought this was going to be much longer. So kudos to me, I guess, for managing to squeeze all 2 weeks of news into a 30 minute slot that you guys can enjoy. So without further ado, I'm going to hit you guys with this really nice little tidbit. So as before, because we mentioned this last week, the Leonardo's family needs some help. This is Leon's brother. I'm going to put the GoFundMe link into the description below. We are not accepting any form of donations for us, the podcast, this week in general. And so we'll be trying to get you guys to at least help their family out, because they are going through some really hard times right now and need to find a new place with the quickness. Many people have been doing what they can to give to them, but they are a little bit away from their goal, and I really want to help them kind of get fully settled in. Besides that, I'll just say the usuals, guys. You can catch us around on our Twitch whenever we stream. Look out for random streams. Sometimes we do random streams during the week, but usually we're streaming on a Sunday morning, anytime between 11 to like 12, and it goes on for the rest of the day, but that's usually around the time you can catch it when we start up, I should say. Besides that, appreciate you guys for always listening to us. If you guys want to get hoodies and things like that, I still need to post pictures so you guys can actually get an understanding of what they look like. But if you guys want hoodies or fleeces or hats or things like that, merchandise, we got them. It's simply like an email, and we'll get everything straight away. You put in your order for it, what you would like. But I'll show you guys, still need to show you guys what they actually look like. So keep an eye out on our Twitter and our Threads, just so that you guys can actually just know whichever one you want to be on, so you can try to catch that. But without further ado, we are gone. So have a good one, guys. We will catch you guys later, and remember, the GoFundMe is in the link, and the docket itself is also in the link. So if you want to check out the docket and do the GoFundMe page, it will also be in the description below. Please go donate to them, help the family out. They need it, honestly. So more than anything else. That's gonna be it. Just spread the link around. If you can't donate, obviously, spread the link around just to get it to as many people as possible. And that'll be it for us. Peace.